Kia ora. Welcome to the 20th of July. It's my morning ramble. Up and about, or up and about. A little overcast this morning. Supposed to get to 91 degrees today, so we'll see. It's been another hot day. I think there's some massive heat waves in various parts of the country, including our soon to be beloved Tennessee. So yeah, that'll be a thing to keep an eye on. It's kind of is what it is. So I talked about a few things, like rambled on about water and solar and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I've actually talked about it. I will be upfront, and when I do these things, they're pretty much done and dusted. So I will go back and revisit old territory and may even contradict myself. That's kind of the point of this. It's just for anyone who is bothered listening, it's just really me rabbiting on about what I happen to be thinking about when I'm taking my morning walk. And then out of mind, out of sight, as they say. Or out of mind, who knows? It could be a sign of early onset dementia, who knows? Anyways, food preservation was a thing that I was thinking about. Some rabbits today. So we've grown a successful garden for a couple of years. This year we're not. And so I had to learn very quickly how to pick up canning and deal with large quantities of food that was coming out of the garden and do things with it. I've got jars of pickles and salsas and beets and beans and chicken soup and turkey soup and you name it. There's all manner of stuff going on. So we've got plenty of canned food. Some of that may or may not have made the distance. I'll find that out when we actually start moving what stocks we've got or dispose of. We'll just have to see how that plays out. And on top of this, I've still got vacuum sealed jars of dehydrated vegetables of various kinds to make soups and stews and stuff. And every now and again I'll throw a handful of those in, just to thicken up something that's a little thin, as it absorbs the water and uses it up. But the point I'm making here is food preservation. When you put your mind to it, it's not really a difficult thing to do. You just have to work at it and invest some time and energy into actually doing it. But one of the big things is storage. Storage is a thing, and storage space where we're going is going to be at a premium. So that's not an issue while we have the property here in Ohio, but once we do not have the property here in Ohio, that becomes a thing that we need to consider. So storage unit is the obvious answer for a while. We will be putting in relatively quickly what I'm calling the machine room for now, which is just where the solar and stuff is going to live. But it'll be a little bigger, and it will actually have room for storage and such. Our freeze dryer arrives sometime in the next 4 weeks, I guess. That has other purposes, but one of its purposes, because it has to pay for itself, but one of its purposes is every now and again is to freeze dry food for our own longest term preps and storage, because it doesn't take, well, it still takes space, but it doesn't take quite as much space. And generally speaking, with freeze-dried meals, you're dealing with rehydration, and it just makes them a nice complement to canned goods as well, as long as we rotate them out and use them. So, which is always the $1,000,000 question. Preserving food is one thing, but going through it is another. So food preservation's on my subconscious or semi-conscious thought list at the moment. I'm not as concerned about securing food for now. Obviously things are going to get rather challenging in the not too distant future. Unless it all goes to complete hell in a handbasket. But let's just be optimistic and say that we're going to be experiencing recession, massive inflation. We're already seeing supply chain shortages. Yeah, so now is a good time to start picking up those relatively non-perishable things that may be a little more difficult to get in the future while the prices are still reasonable. And I'm not talking food items here, I'm talking toiletries and just, shampoos, toothpastes, just non-perishables, your salts and things like that. Just stuff that you can actually put away for a rainy day. And, for now, if you're shopping regularly, maybe plan to get a few extra items and just kind of keep them in the pantry. You can burn through them, that's fine, but I'm not saying that everything is going to be impossible to get. Who knows? But better safe than sorry, right? So if you're out shopping, definitely pick up a few extra bits and pieces for some forward thinking. So yeah, food preservation. So I still intend to continue canning. That's a given. Because there is a convenience to just dropping, particularly with pre-canned meals, just dropping the contents of a jar into a pot and all the liquids there, and you're basically good to go. So I may change my canning from what it currently is, which is what's come out of the garden and processed accordingly, to probably pre-canning meals, hot packing, cold packing, whatever's needed. I have all the gear, I've invested in that. It's not going to be unused. It will continue to have a use, definitely continue to have a use moving forward. I have plenty of jars and lids and seals. I can, package for our family of 5 at the moment. I can package quite a large quantity of food in a relatively short time, subject to materials and the raw resources. So I'm really not concerned about that. It's more, again, making sure that making sure that what is being put away is easy to use, nutritious, obviously, can be replenished as time and money and or resources, supplies become available, and that we balance that with a longer term approach as well, by freeze drying and putting away stuff for a slightly, wow, that's really red glare, some kind of sunburn, some kind of skin disease, but the Cheeto disease. It's a thing that's going around at the moment with this new abominable Rings of Power from Amazon tangent. There's Cheeto Galadriel. It's just like funniest thing ever. Should spawn 1,000 memes. Anyway, so yeah, freeze drying, complementing what we have by way of our canning, but we'll see. We shall see. So there's a learning curve involved with the freeze dryer, and that is going to be another thing. And there's no good time to get it just get it while we can afford it. And like I said, I have plans for that, so it's going to earn its keep. Yeah, so I guess I'll talk more about this and when I start doing some more stuff. I have it in the back of my head that I want to pre-package and get some canning done, some pre-packaged meals and things prior to the move. Because like I said, I just have a lot of individual jars of vegetables and various bits and pieces that came out of the garden. But with time constraints and everything else as well, and the likelihood of spending a winter in Tennessee in temporary surroundings, I'm thinking that I probably want to go ahead and actually do some pre-canned meals and some other bits and pieces that we can take down with us, and we don't have to travel particularly far, and don't have to worry about potable water and stuff because everything is self-contained in a jar. So I'll make a point of scheduling some time, and maybe this time around, if there's any interest, I'll tidy things up and go through and video the process of how I go about doing that and the tools that I use, and I don't do this whole Gordon Ramsay-esque type pristine kitchen kind of thing. It'll be warts and all. So you'll it won't be pretty is where I'm going. But just a heads up on that one if there's any interest. If anyone's reading this and you want to see how I do particular types of canning, please let me know in the comments or send me a message. More than happy to share what knowledge I have in that space, such as it is. Alrighty, on with the day. Hope you all have a great day. Kia ora. Chat again tomorrow. Bye.